Hello, Ketan sir. Hello, sir Ketan.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Just I'm checking. Okay.
Okay.
Nice, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Ketan sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are waiting for Tirvi, sir. Hello. Yeah. Um, Dr. Tirvi have joined. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can we start now?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Ram Pratap sir, can we go live, please?
Yes, we are live.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
With everyone's due permission, should I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon to the galaxy of intellectuals, chief guests, principals, professors, students, and participants. To improve the golden moment of opportunity and catch the good that is in our reach, it is a great art of life. I, Assistant Professor Mrs. Rachna Das, Teacher Educator of Dhyan Ganga Education Trust College of Education, am thrilled to find it a great pleasure to welcome you all to this valedictory section of our national conference. It is on augmentation of school, higher and professional development education, which was a plethora of knowledge sharing and professional growth opportunities that we have witnessed today. On behalf of the institution, both the institutions, that is Ponda Education Society's College of Education, Goa, and Dhyan Ganga Education Trust College of Education, Maharashtra, we are delighted to offer a gracious welcome to all present here. As quoted by Zig Ziglar, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. As we have come to an end with a day full of learnings and knowledge sharing, I would extend my warmest congratulations to managements of both the institutions, conference directors, conveners, coordinators, organizing team, students, and to all participants for successfully presenting their papers. This is the fruit of culmination of so many days of tireless planning, dedication, and hard work. We have yet to hear from our chief guest and learn a lot more in this session as well. No event is complete without the blessings of Almighty. And as rightly said by Soren, the function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. To give a blissful start to this valedictory session, I would like to call upon Ms. Kanaka Lakshmi Swaminathan, student teacher of DGET's College of Education, Thane, to invoke the blessings of Ma Saraswati, goddess of knowledge and wisdom. Over to you, Kanaka.
Good afternoon, one and all. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता माता चंद्रबिंब सम वदन विराजे चंद्रबिंब सम वदन विराजे शीश मुकुट माला गलधारी शीश मुकुट माला गलधारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारी वीणा बाम अंग में शोभे वीणा बाम अंग में शोभे ते दर्शन परब्रह्म दुलारी ते दर्शन परब्रह्म दुलारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता माता. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanika. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Swapna Khairnar, Madam, Principal, DGET College of Education and the Conference Director, to propose the welcome speech. Over to you, Madam.
Hello and good afternoon, all of you. On behalf of Ponda Education Society's College of Education, Goa, and Jnana Ganga Education Trust College of Education, Maharashtra, I, Dr. Swapna Khairnar, welcome you all to this crucial part of today's conference, that is, valedictory program. It is my honor to welcome today's chief guest for the valedictory function, Dr. Vittal Tilvi Sir, Professor, Research Development and Innovation, State Higher Education Council, Directorate of Higher Education, Goa. It is our pleasure to have you here, sir. Welcome, sir. I take this opportunity to thank the chairpersons of technical sessions, respected Dr. Meena Kute ma'am and Dr. Pratima Pradhan ma'am, for their valuable guidance and vibrant presence during technical sessions. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome Mr. Ratnadeep Khade sir, Principal of Ponda Education Society's College of Education, all the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, support staff, and all my dear participants for this wonderful session. Looking forward to an enriched summarization. Lastly, I would like to say valedictory is not the end, but the beginning of new endless stories. Thank you all. Over to you, Kavita ma'am.
Thank you, madam. A very good afternoon to all of present here, and heartful thank you for the joining today at the conference. No learning is completed without a last summary or just which gives us a bird eyes view of the learning we had today. To brief us up with the conference report, I would like to invite one of our conference convener, Assistant Professor Mr. Ketan Kamble, IQAC Coordinator, Ponda Education Society, College of Education, Ponda, Goa. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir Ketan. Ketan, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Ponda Education Society's College of Education, Ponda, Goa, and Jnana Ganga Education Trust's College of Education, Thane, Maharashtra, jointly organized today Virtual National Conference on Augmentation of School, Higher and Professional Development Education. We are thankful to the management, and for this conference, there were two directors, Ratnadeep Khade sir, Principal, In-charge Principal of Ponda Education Society College of Education, and Dr. Swapna Khairnar, In-charge Principal of Jnana Ganga Education Trust College of Education. Conveners were myself, Ketan Kamble, and Pratibha Kamble ma'am. And coordinators were Dr. Sachin Salgar and Assistant Professor Rachna Das ma'am. The inaugural session started with the welcome song by Ponda Education Society College of Education students. Then Dr. In-charge Principal Ratnadeep Khade sir was introduced by Assistant Professor Mallari Gaikwad. Officially, Khade sir welcomed everyone through his welcome address. Later on, Assistant Professor Pratibha Kambli ma'am gave brief about the conference. Our chief guest for the inaugural session, Dr. Sunita Magre, was introduced by Assistant Professor Rachna Das, and later our chief guest addressed the gathering, wherein she, through her address, mentioned that every policy is good only when its implementation is good. After her chief guest address, the keynote speaker for inaugural session, Dr. Sunaina Kadle, ma'am, was introduced by Assistant Professor Umesh Salgar. And through keynote address, Dr. Sunaina Kadle told that quality education should be for making future functional citizens, not just learners, but functional citizens. And this responsibility lies on the shoulder of educationalists and anyone who is the stakeholder of education. Later, Assistant Professor Surbhi Sona ma'am introduced Dr. Swapna Khairnar, and Dr. Swapna Khairnar ma'am addressed through her presidential speech. Vote of thanks was expressed by Assistant Professor Pratibha Kambli ma'am, and the anchoring of inaugural session was done by Assistant Professor Nikita Naik and librarian Karishma Satarkar. Later on, we went to technical session. Technical session 1 was with theme Augmentation of School Education. The chairperson for technical session 1 was Dr. Meena Kute, who is principal of SSR College of Education. She was introduced by Assistant Professor Sanjay Randive. The moderator for this session was Assistant Professor Dr. Prakash Ahire. Vote of thanks was expressed by Assistant Professor Rohit Bhosle. In this session, total 15 papers were slated, out of which 13 papers were presented. For technical session 2, the theme was Augmentation of Higher and Professional Development. Chairperson was Dr. Pratima Pradhan, who is Assistant Professor of PG Section, Department of Education from Fakir Mohan University, Odisha. She was introduced by Assistant Professor Rajendra Chauhan. The moderator for this session was Assistant Professor Sangapal Zodape. Vote of thanks was expressed by Assistant Professor Nikita Naik. In this session, total 12 papers were listed, but 5 of them presented. Both the chairmen gave very valuable inputs about the paper, about the theme, how to improve the research further, and both the chairperson congratulated our B.Ed students specially for presenting paper at this level, and this is how we concluded with technical session. And now we are proceeding and venturing into valedictory function. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for updating us with the report of conference. Now I would like to call upon Assistant Professor Rachna Das, Madam, to take up the impressions by conference participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Surbhi ma'am. Before we move on to the participants, a small summary that NEP 2020 has mainly thrown light on quality education in Indian educational setup. The quality in Indian education will be a reality if quality education is inculcated, transferred, maintained, and continuously improvised from primary to tertiary level of education. Today, we have witnessed some amazing cognitively thought-provoking sessions which focused on augmentation of school education, higher education, professional development education of school, college, university teachers in lines of current affair in education field that is given in NEP 2020, which is already summed up by Assistant Professor Mr. Ketan Kambli, sir. I would like to invite few of our participants to share their impressions and takeaways on today's session and conference. Now I would like to invite Father Beju Thomas for sharing his impressions and takeaways from the conference.
Good afternoon, all of you. This conference was well arranged by the two colleges. First and foremost, I appreciate them, all the conveners, arranging such a conference on augmentation of higher education and professional development. And all the speakers in the inaugural session, they were well spoke about the augmentation of higher education and professional development. And all the papers presented in the conference also all the students, all the delegates presented with good knowledge and a lot of research they have done. For a lot of research papers also presented. It was very inspiring us and also very knowledgeable conference. I want the behalf of all the delegates and all the students, paper presenters, I congratulate the conference conveners and all the both two colleges who arranged this virtual conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Father Beju Thomas. It was indeed very fruitful and indeed very exciting for us to see that participants have gained a lot of insights from this conference. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Anjali Jadhav to give her impressions on the conference.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Anjali Jadhav from Satish Pradhan Jnana Sadhana College, Thane. I wish to give feedback regarding the conference. It is a good initiative by the Jnanaganga Education Trust College of Education, Thane, and Ponda Education Society's College of Education, Goa, regarding the awareness of present education system in India. It has created enthusiasm in knowing the new amendment ideas and views of various teachers from various colleges. The conference was well organized in terms of time management, clarity in instructions to various participants, and appointing efficient people for communication. Overall, the conference was conducted without any hurdle, and I wish all the best to the organizing committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anjali Jadhav, ma'am. It is indeed very fruitful to hear that participants have gained so much from this conference, which gives us a confidence to give more and more in near future. Today, in our valedictory session, we have an eminent personality, that is our chief guest. And to introduce our chief guest, I would call upon Assistant Professor Mrunal Surve to please introduce our chief guest.
Hello. Am I audible? Thank you, madam.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Mrunal Surve from PES College of Education, Goa. It's a great pleasure to introduce such a studious personality, Dr. Vitthal Tilvi sir, chief guest of today's valedictory section of the this conference. Dr. Vitthal Tilvi, one of the experienced astrophysicists, the right now professor in Research Development and Innovation at State Higher Education Council, Directorate of Higher Education, Goa. About his education, I would like to say that he had done MSc Electronics Science and MSc in Physics from Michigan Technological University, USA. And his doctoral work in astronomy and astrophysics as School of Earth and Space Exploration, Arizona State University, Arizona, USA. He achieved various positions at different institutions at Goa as well as USA. In 1997 till 2003, he worked at NIO Goa National Center for Antarctic Ocean Research at Goa, Government College Khandola, Government Polytechnic, and PES Higher Secondary School. Then he was a research associate at Texas A&M University and Arizona State University at USA in the year 2011 till 2017. In the field of research, his contribution is very valuable. He was studying universe during its birth using cosmological and simulations and observations. He is author of more than 40 research journals in international research publications in international journals and reviewer for 3 international astronomy journals. He was principal investigator for 3 NASA-funded projects, and he is honored by Roger Doxey Prize for top 10% PhD thesis by American Astronomical Society in the year 2011. I cannot stop myself to address him as a man of cosmos because of his work about galaxies in universe. The notable research contributions are, in 2013, he was the team member for discovery of the most distant galaxy in the universe and lead author for discovery of 3 new galaxies. In 2017, he was discoverer of the earliest black hole candidate in the universe, and the most notable research as discoverer of the furthest group of galaxies in the universe in the year 2020. He listed among the top 10 discoveries of 2020 by Astronomy magazine. Really, today we are very lucky to have an opportunity to listen you, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very elaborate introduction. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. That was a very elaborate introduction. I'm really privileged to be part of this, not just because I'm right now as a part of this, but I am an alumni of Ponda Education Societies, one of the other colleges that is there, College of Arts and Science. So I graduated from the same college, not from College of Education. So this is, close to my heart, where I did my undergraduate, and then got few opportunities to go other places, including in India as well as outside India. So I'm really privileged, and I do not feel that we cannot have a better time than this, in the sense that we are doing all this and new national education policy. So a lot of things are coming together, and especially when it comes to College of Education, this is the place where we are training our trainers. That means we are producing the teachers who will train the next generation. And I will just, based on my experience, I will just cite few examples. We are really happy. Goa has been doing quite well in terms of implementation of NEP 2020. I just want to give a couple of my experiences in India as well as outside India. First of all, let me just tell you this. Over the last decade, over the last few years, few things have changed when it comes to academics, when it comes especially to teaching. And I was really impressed with, I have gone through the titles and abstracts of this conference. In fact, I really wanted to attend. Unfortunately, I could not. But I have gone through the titles and topics, a few of the presenters, and they are quite amazing. So there is no doubt that we are moving in the right direction. That means a lot of new pedagogies, very efficient pedagogies that we are introducing in academics. So I'm really happy that a lot of us are spending our time and energy to this. And one thing I want to make sure that because of NEP and because of things that we are doing, including this conference, this decade will for sure be remembered as a decade of transformation, especially when it comes to education. So there is no doubt, looking at the committee that has drafted national education policy, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, Professor Manjul Bhargav, he is at Princeton, he has won several awards, field medals in mathematics, close to Nobel Prize. So, these are the people, the wisdom that have come from these people. I'm sure, this decade will really transform the education system in India. Now, when it comes to teaching, as teachers, what should we be doing? If you look at the NEP 2020, I will just briefly mention NEP 2020 because most of the things that we are doing now in education revolves around quality. In fact, if we look at all previous national education policies, most of the things that are there in NEP 2020 were also there. However, one big difference is that NEP 2020 focuses on the quality. That means access to quality education. It is not just access to education, but access to quality education. And if you look at anything else in NEP 2020, everything else has been designed to achieve this quality. And so I think that is the core principle of NEP 2020. If we are able to achieve, that means if our student who goes through NEP 2020 system, and if that student feels that we have been able to make change in his or her life, what it means is that we are successful in implementing the new national education policy. And so that is the core of NEP 2020. Now, few things have changed in last decade. One thing is that we have moved from teacher-centric to learner-centric. What it means is that, few decades ago, most of the information, most of the knowledge was with teacher. However, that is not true anymore. That knowledge, that information is now available to everybody, that everybody includes students. What it means is that everybody has access to that education. And so now our role as a teacher has certainly changed. And so I was very happy looking at the titles and abstract that we are seriously thinking in introducing some new methodologies, some new pedagogies in teaching, because it is really, really required. The second thing is, if we really look at the education system that we had in the past, and we did the survey ourselves, what we found out was really surprising. And in fact, even if I do that survey right now in real time, I would get the same numbers. Now, the question was this: if I ask anybody, any student, any teacher, or in general, anybody else in the society, how many good teachers they have had right from school education to up to, let's say, up to completing undergraduate education. That means bachelor's. And overall, on an average, the answer would be about 3 to 4 best teachers. So what it means is that, so from school to undergraduate, we have gone through about 40 to 45 teachers. And out of 40 to 45 teachers, we have about 3 to 4 best teachers. Now, whichever way we want to say these are the best teachers, that is up to the individual. Now, what it means is that we have only about 10% of the best teachers. What happened to the remaining 90%? Now, with that best 10% of the teachers, our education system have reached to this level. Imagine if remaining 90% of the teachers were also very good, you can imagine where our system would have been. And so something should be done for the remaining 90% of the teachers. I'm not saying that remaining 90% of the teachers are not good, but if they were in the best best teachers category, our education system would have been much, much different, and we would have been really able to compete with any education system in the world. So that is one thing. The second thing is why this has happened and what can we do. So as a teacher, when we go to the classroom, what is that must be done to bring that education to a certain level. So if we are at this level, we must make sure that it reaches to a much higher level. What can we do as an individual and as an institution? There are few things, and we did sort of preliminary study what can be done as an individual teacher and as an institution. So I will just briefly mention, given the paucity of time. So what we did is we compared the syllabus of one of the Indian universities to one of the top universities in the world. In fact, if we ask any top universities in the world, without we can ask that to anybody, and the answers would be nearly same. The top universities in the world would be, might be slightly different order, but they would be all Harvard, Stanford, Cambridge, Cornell, Princeton. So those top universities are top in the list of, world rankings, Times Higher Education. There are a few different reasons. And we do not have even a single university from India that is within top 100 for various reasons. Now, what we did is we did a preliminary study why this might be happening. And what we found was really, really surprising. What we did is we compared the syllabus. Initially, what we thought it might be, we really want to change the syllabus. We have to really want to have very up-to-date syllabus. If we have very up-to-date syllabus, our students will get the most up-to-date information, and then everything would be fine. To our surprise, that is not what we found. However, we found something different. So what we did, we took the syllabus of Indian universities, we compared it to one of the top universities in the world. And when we compared, we found that the syllabus of both these universities is nearly same. So that was very, very surprising to us. When the syllabus is same, then what is that is different? Why, for example, in US universities are doing much, much better when their syllabus is also same as our syllabus. And what we found out is this, that every faculty, there is no exception, every faculty, whether it is at undergraduate level, whether it is at postgraduate level or at PhD level, every faculty without exception is involved in research. And in fact, teaching becomes sort of their part-time job. In fact, on teaching, they spend only about 10 to 20% of the time. Majority of the time is being spent on research. And if you look at any universities in the world, which are highly ranked, Stanford, Harvard, Cornell, Princeton, you will see that they are in the top 10 or top 100 for one and only one reason, that they are very good in research, they are innovating all the time. You will never find that they are top because they are very good in teaching. Of course, they are very good in teaching, and the only reason they are very good also in teaching is also that they are very good in research. They innovate. And because they innovate, everybody knows them in the world. If I ask the same question either to Indian or even to an American, their answer would be same. That means, Stanford, Harvard are the top universities in the world. And so one major thing that we are not able to achieve that, the quality or the ranking is simply because majority of the faculty, unfortunately, this is the reality, majority of our faculty are not involved in research. And so NEP, I'm really happy that NEP is bringing that focus again. And if you look at the history, for example, university like Nalanda, Takshashila, They were all big campuses, they had multidisciplinary education, and they really spent a lot of time, a lot of energy into research. And it is not a coincidence that India came up with yoga, meditation. It is not a coincidence. That means a lot of people have spent a lot of time and energy developing this. And so I do not see any reason why we cannot do that. And so if we are able to spend time, energy in research, there is no other way. And what happens when we found out that this is the only difference? That means every faculty, for example, in US, is doing research. When they go to the classroom, for reference, they have the syllabus. But when they give the assignment, when they give the exams, the assignment, exams, what they do is totally based on the most up-to-date information. That means their student get access to the most up-to-date information. And the information what our student gets is about after 15 to 20 years. The reason is why that lag of 15 to 20 years is this. When we go to the classroom, we refer to the syllabus that has been designed by our board of syllabus, and our board of syllabus meets every 3 to 5 years. That means our syllabus is at least 5 years old. Now the textbook that we refer, the textbook that has been recommended by our board of syllabus, that textbook is at least about 10 to 15 years old. That means when we go to the classroom, when we deliver the content, that because of board of syllabus, that change the syllabus after every 3 to 5 years, we are using the textbook that is about 10 to 15 years old. So our syllabus is really 15 to 20 years old. And imagine by the time students graduate and they use that information is already about 20 to 25 years old. However, on the other hand, for example, in any developed countries, when same faculty is involved in research, the students will get the most up-to-date information. And that is what makes all the difference. So what we found out is really, if student really wants to get the most up-to-date information, it is not enough just to change the syllabus. What is really required is that every faculty is involved in research at some or the other level. May not be very fundamental, but every faculty has to be involved in research. And it may be research in education, it may be very fundamental research, it may be research, industrial research, various kind of research. However, it is really, really important that we get involved in research. And the last thing before I stop, I just want to mention that why this is really required research, especially when it comes to colleges of education, is that we really should evaluate when it comes to teaching, whether our teaching is really effective. And the only way we can do that is we really have to spend time and energy doing the research, in the sense that which is the best way to implement, whether we are delivering the content or whether we are adopting a new technique, new methodology, new pedagogy. Are these pedagogies really effective in delivering the content, and whether students are able to learn from those pedagogies, and whether these techniques are really, really effective in implementing what we really want to implement. But I'm really happy that these conferences, these types of deliberations will certainly help us taking our education system forward. And there is, it's only a matter of time when we reach from this level to the next level. So I am really thankful to both the institute, PS College in Goa and then Dhyan Trust in Thane, that they have come together to organize this conference. And so I am really thankful for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all the participants. Thank you, and thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very nice given thank you, sir. Very nice given the information. Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone. We are very happy to see you all together here. Thank you. all of the joining us today here at this program. I would like to extend the warm welcome to respected Mr. Ratnadeep Khande, in charge principal and conference director, Ponda Education Society, Society College of Education, Ponda, Goa. The proposed presidential address. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. For today's third session, we have chief guest, Professor Dr. Vithal Tilvi, sir. So, welcome for our program and very thank you for accepting our invitation and being present here. So, with your address, we come to know that your focus was on using various technologies and research-based methodologies for educational qualities. Since morning, we are discussing the same things from the first session also. Magre Madam also focused all the relevances of NEP with the current teaching methods. Also, from the keynote address by Sunaina Kadle Madam, she also focused on various strategies of pedagogy, 360% degree assessment, other assessment strategies, also need of curriculum development regarding NEP or implementation of NEP, then quality assurance in NEP, artificial intelligences, and all these things were focused since morning discussion. We have two different technical sessions for the research papers. Near about 30 papers were there for the two sessions, and almost all the papers were related to new education policy and these teaching learning methods. Various students or researchers focused on the new technologies, use of new technologies, tools like chat, GPT, gaming, etc. They have compared the study of various methods for the various contents, and really it was very fruitful and nice discussion throughout the conference. And the diamond of this discussion was the thoughts of Professor Dr. Vithal Tilvi, sir, as very aptly said by sir that for teacher educations, for teacher education institutions, they have to lead for the proper implementation of the NEP 2020. And with all these discussions, we are also feeling that we are on the way, on the proper way of the implementation of NEP 2020 with all the research backgrounds. With these words, I conclude my presidential remarks. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our conference coordinator, Assistant Professor Dr. Sachin Salgar, sir, from Ponda Education Society's College of Education to please propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, one and all. All the good things come to an end in life. So, as the national webinar, on behalf of PS College of Education and Gnan Ganga College of Education, I, Dr. Sanjay Randive, take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed this webinar on the topic of augmentation of school, higher and professional development of education. At the outset, I thanks our chief guests and keynote speakers, Dr. Sunita Magre ma'am. I thanks Dr. Sunaina Kadle ma'am. I thanks Dr. Dr. Vittal Tilve sir. I thanks Dr. Meena Kutta ma'am, and I thanks the Pratibha Pradhan ma'am. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our Honorable Founder President, Sir Ravi Naik, and Founder Secretary, Ritesh Naik, for their enthusiastic motivation. I would like to thank both the principals who have enthusiastically supported to develop this webinar. A special thanks the organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for their non-stoppable supports and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to all the students, all the researchers, and all the participants of the various places of India for their active participation. And finally, I declare the prior permission of the both principal, the session is over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We
Thank
can
you.
end the meeting, sir.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah.
blessed all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.